What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Why European and American trucks are so different. American and European semi-trucks are very different. In America, you see all the trucks with a long nose and wheelbase with the cabin behind the engine, whereas trucks in Europe are cab-over trucks where the cabin is above the engine.
I always thought those were
funny. Why are these so different, and what are the advantages and disadvantages? Let's take a look at it. Livable. One of the reasons why the American trucks have bigger cabs is that owner-operators are very common in the US and not so much in Europe. These people own their trucks and pretty much live in them for months at a time.
Facts.
Because they spend so much time, and some have to live in the cabin, these cabins are quite a bit larger and have more features in the cabin, such as a fridge, microwave, freezer, wardrobe, large bed, windows, and some even have their own toilet.
Man, ain't that a benefit? When you're on the road delivering products for people, man, what a benefit, bro. You can't go wrong with that. You can't.
I remember my best friend growing up, her brother was a truck driver. And like he didn't have a home because he stayed on the road all the time. And when he would want to rest, he would just go rest in front of their house.
Yeah, so oftentimes what truck drivers do is they make their money, and then because they be on the road so much, they stack it, and then they invest it back into their truck, right? Because they own it. And then they start to buy more trucks and have more businesses. But personally, to have a nice bed and everything laid out for them, they invest in all that, man.
Yeah. 100%. Let's see what's so different about that, though.
Owners modify their trucks to include huge living compartments, something not so common in Europe. It is, of course, also possible to spend several days in a truck with a cab over, but the comfort is just not nearly as high. Long, wide roads. Much of an American truck's life is spent on the interstate system, where the lanes are wide and the roads are straight. For that reason, the long wheelbase of the truck is acceptable and typically makes the ride much more comfortable. Considering they are allowed to drive up to 12 hours every 24 hours, whereas European truckers can only drive 9 hours, that extra comfort is important. European semi-trucks are lighter and have shorter wheelbases, which makes them significantly easier to maneuver. Essentially, they are more compact and easier to work with in traffic and urban environments, which is perfect for the narrow roads in Europe. Also, the cab-over has a better overview and less blind spots, which increase safety noticeably, where the larger bonnets and A-pillars on the American trucks make it difficult for drivers to get a clear view of traffic.
Look at the difference.
Right.
Strict regulations.
Wait, because of the view, bro, like their parking is a whole lot easier, I bet. You can't go wrong with you got a flat nose. Like you putting up to any curve, whatnot, and you trying to park with the long nose, you have to like guess it just about. And that's a big difference.
Just walking in front of them, like when we stop on the highway and there's like trucks, I make sure I have a whole distance so they could see me because I'm short, so you could see me. In front of the European trucks, I wouldn't have to walk as far as I walk. Like I make it noticeable. I'm here.
Stricter regulations in Europe make for different trucks. For starters, a European semi-truck can only be 18.75 meters or about 61 feet. Some countries have some exceptions, but generally that is the rule. Because of these restrictions, European trucks have to be as short as possible so they can tow more cargo. Considering American cabs can be 20 feet long, that only leaves 40 feet of room for cargo. So, in order to make more room for cargo, the cab has to be as short as possible. Similar requirements in the US have been revoked back in 1986, and trucks now can be much longer. Actually, back in the day, cab-over trucks were quite popular in the US, but without strict limitations, roomier and more convenient to live with conventional design trucks prevailed. Speed and aerodynamics.
Oh, Europe got that
A big
one.
difference between the European semi-trucks and
faster.
American ones is that in Europe, the speed is limited to 90 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
But in some places in the US, trucks are allowed to reach 129 and even 137 kilometers per hour.
What is it? The north somewhere?
It is on the long straight roads. At high speed, the better aerodynamics and longer wheelbase is a clear advantage for the long-nosed trucks, which are created for the long trips.
Can you imagine, like, whenever we driving, though, whenever we see, like, an 18-wheeler coming full speed behind us, knowing that we doing at least 80, like, we get straight out the way.
Oh, baby, out the way.
We get straight out the way. So the first time I see that, they trying to make their time, and they try to make their delivery on time. You know what I mean? So
I don't want to be near them. I don't. But you know what's crazy? Like, I used to travel back and forth during college on the highway, and when it would be raining, I felt safer behind them for some reason.
Yeah.
And I know for other people, they may be like, girl, you are crazy. But the way I drove on the highway so much, that's how I know, like, when it's raining and it's coming from a certain this direction at you, the rain goes on the side.
Yeah,
so if
like
I'm riding
umbrella.
right behind it, I don't get as much rain on me.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. That makes sense. And they be pouring down, too. Yeah.
Conclusion. So, the reason why there is such a big difference between trucks in Europe compared to America is that they are used in different ways. There are different rules that must be observed, both in terms of speed, driving time, lengths, weight, etc. And that there is a big difference between roads and the infrastructure. So, one is not necessarily better than the other, but they are adapted to the needs of truck owners, the driver, and the government requirements.
Yeah, facts.
Which is your favorite?
I don't have a favorite. I mean, other than our trucks, we can definitely get a bed in the back and sleep whenever it's time. We don't have to get a hotel. We don't have to worry about making it to a certain spot. They got rest spots and they can pull over and they can rest like that and get back on the road. But the only difference is that the European trucks can carry more, which means you get more money for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference with that. Like, if they have beds in their trucks while they're driving and needing a rest, then they have a real bonus because you got the extra cargo and you got a rest stop where you can just sleep in your truck. So
I like that they have like the refrigerators, the accommodations inside, so where if they want to stay in their truck, they can on the USA. And I like the view for the European trucks.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No blind spots.
No blind spots. That makes you really want to drive faster.
I don't know about fast, just not by me.
Hey.
All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.